watching Umami.
Hello everyone, how you doing? Today I'm going to be showing you some of the shots from episode 23, so you can see how I did them, answering questions, that sort of thing. And I don't know, maybe I'll draw something later. I'm not really sure what I plan on doing. Pika Bubbles, do you have a 9-to-5 job or is YouTube your job now? Pika Bubbles, I pretty much do YouTube full time. We still, like before I did animations, I was a freelance video editor. And so we still sometimes like shoot videos for documentaries and stuff. But these days I'm pretty much focused entirely on Umami. So that's what I'm doing these days. So, do I like Bjork? I used to listen to her music a lot, and then I kind of got tired of it. I like some of her music too. I just, I kind of like this is kind of gonna sound weird, but I kind of like the instruments more than her singing. Just probably not. I mean, people listen for the singing, I guess, but. Tristan K, how do you focus on creating self-deadlines for yourself? Well, my goal with this channel was to have an animation out once a month, one animation per month. And so in order to do that, if I get to like a month and nothing has been uploaded, I'll try to make like a bonus video. And Interface episode 23 took about 3 months, start to finish. So I had a bunch of bonus videos in between. But the deadline thing, it's just kind of like I said before on the streams, if I get one shot done a day, or at least I do something, if I draw something, it doesn't have to be a complete shot, then at least I feel like I'm making progress. Because if I go like 2 or 3 days without doing anything, you kind of get into a funk where it's harder to get back into it. You know what I mean? Hey, so Carolina's going to be here with me too for the stream. Let's see if I can...
Where am I?
Oh, she's right there.
Hi.
So I'll show you some of the stuff that we did, and some of the stuff that Carolina drew as well. I'm just going to pull up the chat here. I just have to pop it out, I think. So I can put it on the side. There, that's better. Breaking it down into smaller pieces is what works for me, yeah. Like, I got like a timeline, right? Well, I can show you the timeline, actually. Because it's already been out. It's not really a spoiler. I mean, if you haven't seen episode 23 yet, I guess you're probably there's gonna be some spoilers.
Close your eyes and your ears. Get out.
Matching glasses. Well, Carolina's are blue, but I kind of can't really see with these filters.
We're both very fashion forward. Yours are blue. There's a slate blue.
Okay, so this is the timeline, right?
Gulab.
And it's like, imagine if this timeline was a puzzle and like these pieces were not here. If I do the first shot, it's like, okay, I got
delete the whole project.
I'm not gonna save it, Carolina.
Don't hit Control S. I
have it backed up in case.
I asked you if you wanted me to be here. Like, you gotta deal with my trolling.
So imagine if this was like a puzzle. You know how you like to complete the edge pieces of a puzzle? it's sometimes I like to do is do the first shot and then the last shot, and then, or not, that's not the last shot, but this would be the last shot. And then what you have is a gap. And so you kind of like, you fill in the gap like you're completing a puzzle, you know? And so you feel like there's some sort of progress. And if you get the edge pieces done at least, then you feel like you completed one step. That's kind of how I like to go about doing it. It kind of helps me motivate myself. 'Cause I'm like, oh, because at one point, I think I had like something like that left, right?
All those are easy.
And then I was like, I gotta...
I'm reading the chat. What is that? Get that out of here.
I don't know what's going
I
on.
can't see anything.
Let me close this. My friend shared Interface 23 with me and sent me down a rabbit hole to the Dali and Rigreet references. Would you go through some of the other references I may have missed? Yes, I can do that.
You gonna ruin all the surprises?
Well,
isn't there like a list you made?
there's a list, but I was planning on doing it after episode 24. Like I was gonna put it in the credits, like the list of all the paintings. I think I might be able to take up some of these references here. Just hold on. I don't even know where I put them. Oh, it's on the Creative Cloud, I think. Yeah, so obviously the Giorgio de Chirico, sorry, not very good at pronouncing names. This is the most obvious reference from episode 23. And I got it kind of inspired the entire episode to some degree because I looked at it and I thought, there's a train in the background. Maybe I can have Mr. Greetings kind of explain himself while they're traveling through the simulated universe, which is the interface between life and death almost, but it's created in some sort of computer brain. So that's, the train is right there, and then look, they're handshaking each other. They're giving each other a handshake. So I thought maybe I'll like incorporate that into the series. And there's also like this cube down here, which in the animation is blue, and there's an octopus kind of engulfing it. So I'm kind of like using the paintings as like a starting point. And then this one, I mean, honestly, this one is really, I took a lot from it. It's pretty much almost a recreation. Like the building right here is the exact same. So are these. The statue's been removed. The lighting is even the same, you know? How do you feel about reading interpretations of interface? Does it feel good reading different kinds of interpretations, or is there one specific point you'd like to get across? I definitely read a lot. I mean, I pretty much read all the comments until it gets like too much, like this, because sometimes a lot of them come in. People have a lot of different theories about interface, and I feel like some people are pretty much, they understand it exactly what my intentions were, and then there's a lot of people that are confused, and then there's some people that have their own interpretations that are completely different from what I intended, but I think it's very interesting how they came up with those interpretations because they drew connections that I didn't necessarily make. So. Why is the main character called Henryk Niebiewski? Greetings from Poland. From Jacob. I needed a name. And I thought at the time, well, recently, before I made Interface, we went to Poland because Karolina is Polish, and we went to visit her grandparents. And I needed like to give him a first name and last name, and he was Blue, and I didn't want everyone was calling him like the Blue guy at the time, and I didn't really like just calling characters like something guy, whatever, you know. So
Green man.
green guy, pink guy. So I just called him like Blue guy, but basically in Polish, which is Niebieski, which means blue for those who aren't Polish. And his first name, Henrik, I don't know. I think it was because I think I chose the name Henrik because I think there was a photographer that actually took photographs of the Tumblr snapper experiments. His first name was Henrik. I think that's where I drew took the name from. I can't exactly remember. It's been a while. It's been like 3 years, man. So this project's been ongoing for a while. Hey, Mushroom Bone, I thank you for the comment there.
Mushroom bone.
What interface character are you most comparable to?
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I mean, it may not seem like it in the stream, but I kind of compare myself to Mischief the most. Because, you know, I'm trying to be all serious when I'm live streaming, but really I'm just a big silly
99% of the time he's not serious at all. And I sound like a big goober on the stream, but I'm the super serious one.
Yeah. So I'll show you another painting reference. Some of these I didn't quite save the names, so I don't exactly have the names in front of me. This is not one I decided to use, but it's another painting I thought was interesting. Or I think it's an etching. I could be wrong. Some more. These are just kind of like I saved them into a folder to kind of give me like an influence. So I didn't necessarily use all of them. This one's from Van Gogh, his sunflower painting, which I didn't really use this, but the long, you know, black shadows and stuff from Giorgio de Chirico. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Definitely was probably the strongest influence over this episode, if not over the entire series. This one's from Salvador Dali, I believe. And I decided not to go with this because the whole melting clock thing is just kind of like an overdone reference. And I thought that if I included it, it might be kind of cheesy. So I didn't include the melting clock because even though it's all about, you know, living in the past or going into the future, I thought that this might be a little too on the nose. I think Carolina also thought that way.
Yeah, I said that.
Carolina thought that, yeah.
You take all my serious ideas and present them as your own.
Do you have the entire series planned out from episode 1? No. When I started the interface, I really only had one episode planned at the time, which was the first episode, and then it slowly became a more gradual.
Holy shit.
Oh, jeez.
So many questions at the same time. What happens when you give Mischief a hug?
I don't know. Maybe you'll find out in episode 24.
Really? He's gonna be hugged?
Maybe. You need the
I think
hug.
you should save that for another series.
How long did you take to animate that camera flight over the flower field where Henrik hugs his daughter? That shot really impressed me. Actually, that took... Well, Carolina worked on the drawing of her running, and I worked on the background with the flowers, and combined, it probably took a week just for that one shot.
Took about 5 days.
5 days. So I'm going to go through that shot after this, actually, if you want to stick around. I'll show you how it's done, or how we did it. Do you think too much about not leaving plot holes? Yes, I think about that pretty much all the time, because I know people say like the series doesn't make sense, but there's in my head like the way I have theorized it is that it mostly makes sense. Like there is an actual structure to it. I try not to contradict that structure when I make episodes. Like I don't want to like contradict the logic of the universe I've created. So anyway, let's move on to the next painting here. Oh yeah, this one's from Magritte, and obviously this one you've seen in the episode. This one was also major. You know, when I started the interface though, and I drew Henrik with the bowler's hat and all that, I wasn't referencing Magritte at the time. It just kind of happened to be like after episode 5, I was like, you know what? He kind of looks like the guy that's in those paintings. And so I think it was episode 4 maybe. I decided to link them up by making it a real reference to the I think the Son of Man painting. This one's not working for some reason. I already showed you this one.
He isn't Scottish. What?
More paintings here that kind of I decided not to use this one. I almost drew this one. It's almost like if I looked at this painting and decided to reference this one, I could have made that whole series, but instead of that whole episode, but instead of it being a train, it might have been on a boat, you know? That might have been cool too, actually. But animating water is really difficult, so that's probably why. And obviously this painting from Salvador Dali is another surrealist painting, which is I don't know, it's like part 2 of his other painting. The one
thinks about breakfast a lot.
It's he made one painting called what was it called?
No fun.
Well, it's basically the one that's featured in episode 5. I don't know. But this one's a little bit different. There's a big egg.
He came up with that one when he was at the diner, and waitress was like, "What kind of egg would you like?" And he said, "Sunny side up." Then he went home to paint. That's the true story.
Okay, Carolina. Carolina, the art historian.
I have an art degree, okay?
I decided to remove a lot of the stuff. I was thinking of drawing like all this stuff in here, but then I just wanted to keep it simple, and I replaced the sun with the nuclear bomb. And anyway, so those are my references from that episode. Let me show you how that shot was drawn. Okay, so I think I need to get my mouse.
You should probably like repaste your questions because they're lost. There's just too many things.
Oh yeah, if I didn't answer your question, it just means I missed it because
it's just scrolling.
Thank you guys for all these comments. How do you rotoscope 3D scenes? Okay, so I'll show you some of that stuff right now. So that shot of the daughter running, maybe I could like keep Premiere open just so I can show you the shots before I show you how they're done.
What does Mischief's skin feel like? That's what they're asking. They keep pasting it.
What does his skin feel like?
Don't look at me like I asked this.
It probably feels like a plastic bag that's been coated in olive oil.
Oh. So basically, when you bring the olive oil home and it breaks in your bag, and you have to clean it up, that's what Mischief feels like.
Okay, so this shot right here. This one, I'm going to show you how this is done. So in Cinema 4D, I have flowers
Right.
that are kind of they're set on a cloner in 3D space, and the flowers are textures that I drew of flowers. So if I were to open those flowers, running shot, I think it is. Episode 23 flowers. I drew like 6 or 7, I think like 4 or 5 of these kind of like flowers, and loaded them in a Cinema 4D, put them on a cloner, and then and so I did the foreground and the background, so there's like a space for her to run through. And the actual character is right here. And the character is a 3D model of someone running. But it's kind of, I can't really show this properly. But basically I did a render of the 3D model, okay? And so the 3D model looks like, hold on. What button is it? Is it this one? No. It's, this is what it looks like. See how it looks kind of like a crappy 3D model? She doesn't even have pants on.
She has pants on, they're just skin color for some reason.
Yeah. So this was kind of like me testing the shot out to see if it was going to work. And then I gave Carolina the render of the person running, and she basically had to rotoscope over the entire 3D render, and that took her like 5 days.
No, it took me 3.
3 days. And I can show you what that looks like too. Episode 23, let's see, it was called Daughter Running. What was it called?
Yeah. I don't get people who wear khaki pants that are like almost the same color as their skin.
Oh, here it is. Oh, that's Henrik.
Coronavirus in the background.
Yeah. So this is the animation that Carolina drew. And she was able to use the 3D model, which was underneath as a guide. Because otherwise getting the perspective and stuff is very difficult. And so
it's only one cycle loop.
We also changed the frame rate of the actual drawing because we thought it was too smooth. And if you to draw this by, it's like you're basically doubling the amount of frames you have to draw. And so the 3D model didn't have to be perfect either. Like it had to be a woman, but like obviously it's wearing sneakers. And so when Carolina drew it,
it's
on top, she has her feet and not sneakers. Oh, and this layer I turned off. I didn't want that to have in there. So that's her running. Now it looks more like hand drawn, obviously, and so that's how we did that shot.
Oh, you have your donations turned off?
I don't know. Did I?
Yeah, I think you did. We were playing that game.
Oh, right. Hey guys, I really do appreciate the donations and stuff, but I feel like uncomfortable getting them sometimes. You know,
Well, this man wants to give you Polish pesos, which an accurate description of our currency.
Maybe next time I'll turn it on. This time I just want to talk with you guys. If you guys are interested in getting merch, though, I did redesign the store.
No, I did.
Carolina did. So Carolina's doing everything.
Website.
I can show you it. Okay, it's right here. It's redesigned. It's very clean and simple. It has links to all the different places you can find stuff. So
why do you want to take credit for it? Because if it's broken, it's my fault.
Carolina basically did this for me.
So if it's broken, it's my fault, guys.
So the difference now is you have links to the Teespring, so you can see all the original Teespring stuff, which is there's tons of stuff there. The Bandcamp is here as well, okay? So you can find the records and stuff. But if you were to order something directly on the site, you can just go to shop and you can get some custom stuff here, like a hoodie, right? But the best thing about ordering the merch through this instead of Teespring is that the shipping prices are probably going to be a lot cheaper.
Yeah, the manufacturing is fulfilled on different continents, including Australia and Japan. So it's pretty...
Yes.
It's not shipping across the world. Also, we find the quality to be just...
A little bit better, honestly. We did some tests. The quality, I got a shirt, and it's like a perfect quality shirt. They print them on like brand name quality, like American Apparel and that sort of thing. So that's what we've been moving on to. I'm going to be designing some more merch later this week, and I'm still going to be uploading it to Teespring.
Well, there's a lot of people that are buying stuff from Australia, and you guys have to pay a fortune just to get it and wait like a whole month plus.
Exactly.
Because Teespring's so slow.
Yeah.
To even ship anything in the first place.
So the reason why we did that is now shipping should be cheaper. It's for Australians and even people in Asia. I think they have fulfillment centers there.
Yeah, I said Japan.
Japan?
So it's coming out of Japan.
So if you're ordering something in Japan off that site, it's coming from your own country.
Unless you're in China.
Very cheap.
Getting it.
Yeah. Echo, I have a small question. How do you get the static looking the way it does? I wanted to do some fan art, but I couldn't get it right. Well, I can show you what I did, and you can recreate it if you want. I did this, basically. In Photoshop, I created a... I think I generated clouds or something. How do you do that? Noise. Clouds. Render clouds. Hold on. Render clouds. I think that's what I did. I can't really remember what other options are there. I feel like I think I might have done that. I'm not sure. And then I think I might have done it a few times. I think I did render clouds a few times, and I did like difference, and I went difference.
These magic tricks he does to make things.
Oh, I also have to go threshold, I think. So, hold on. Threshold, image, just threshold. Oops. Well, that's because, okay, now hold on. Threshold again. Yeah, okay, so that's what I did. And then I think I basically just kept generating clouds. And I did threshold again. And I went difference. I'm pretty sure that's what I did. And if I go duplicate.
Didn't you do this like 3 years ago?
This is like 3 years ago, so I can't exactly remember what I did.
So easy.
But it was something like this, right? And I would just kind of keep doing it. And then eventually, like I merged them all down and I called that like frame one. Like I'm doing a really crap job of it right now, but basically, I think I did like a, no, sorry. Blur. I think I did something like that. And then I did a threshold again. I'm not really even explaining it, am I? You're like, how did I do this? I'm like, I don't even know.
It's like when I asked you for help, and you're like, it's easy. And then you do like 50 fucking magic tricks in Photoshops, and somehow it just works.
So I would just experiment with Photoshop. I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly the same.
You just told him to deal with it.
I'm pretty sure Photoshop is different from when I actually generated. I think it used to be called Generate Clouds. Now it's called Render. And
it's the program's fault. They're changing things behind your back because you forgot how to do.
They got like new things in here, like tree.
Tree.
What the hell is tree?
It just makes tree.
You can make a tree in Photoshop now?
Apparently.
What? What the fuck?
There you go. That's how you make the static. You
Oh
click
my
on
god.
tree.
Look at this. You can make cherry blossom trees. I don't even have to make trees anymore. I can just generate them. Well, that doesn't look like it's hand drawn.
No. Kind of looks like.
I'm sorry, I didn't answer your question. This is basically how my day goes.
Somehow he gets things done while having extreme ADD.
Can you talk about the NFTs you have on your shop? So this is going to be a super controversial topic because apparently I'm the Hitler for making NFTs. But
really, you got called Hitler?
No, I called myself Hitler.
You did that. No one accused other people of calling you Hitler when you called yourself Hitler.
So I made these NFTs because I was getting a lot of comments from people asking for NFTs. So I made some NFTs, and then they're here, and I actually already sold one. But the thing is like, just the cost of making them is like, it costs like $60 just to make one because the gas prices or whatever for Ethereum is so high. And then you list it, and then by the time after all the fees, it's like $100. And then if you sell it, you also have to pay gas fees again. But if you want to send money to Rarible so that you can make them in the first place, you also have to pay gas fees.
They're like $11 or something just to send money to yourself.
Yeah, so I think I paid about $300 in fees. Maybe 400. I can't remember exactly, but that's part of the reason why I think the reason why they sell for so much is because they have to sell for a price that basically covers the cost of all the fees. So at least like $400 or whatever it is, you know. I think that NFTs would be way cooler if the gas prices were like 25 cents and when you buy them, it's like a couple dollars, you know, and you can collect them. But, you know, unfortunately, that's just the reality of the situation right now. Ethereum prices are so high. But I think in the future, as they move to more efficient means of doing transactions like proof of stake rather than proof of work, if they're capable of doing it, then maybe I think they might have some sort of future. Right now, the fees are just eating up everything. So I got 3 of them up there, and I'm probably not going to make any more for a while. Just leave them up there and see how it goes, you know. But, yeah.
But they're clearly going to be like trading cards if they are.
But they're going to be like trading cards. And if I do make more in the future, they'll probably keep the same, they'll definitely keep the same like template. But I might do a few originals that won't use the template, but I'm not really planning on doing any more right now because it costs like so much to make them, you know?
Your chat working?
I think so.
Oh,
yeah.
It's just not moving.
Can you turn the live stream announcement picture into a sticker? Is that the logo? I think I could do that. Yeah. I think I can do that probably afterwards. Tarso Augusto. How do you make your shaders to blend so well with 2D animation? I would love a public video of your process. Okay, I'll show you guys what I do. Because I want to spread knowledge, you know? I don't want to keep this all... Because it just took me a while to figure out.
Spread knowledge.
This took me a while to figure out how to... So basically, I start with Cinema 4D. If I'm doing... I do all my 3D stuff in Cinema 4D. If someone was using Blender, they probably could figure out
Click
something.
the button.
What button?
You just keep pausing the chat.
What do I have to do?
I don't know. Just stop scrolling everywhere.
All right, so here's how I do it. Okay, I'm going to generate a circle or a sphere. Here's my sphere. Okay.
Thoughts on beanies? What's that mean? Hats?
Oh, I should add some beanies.
We're gonna make some hats.
We're gonna make some hats
Yeah.
and stuff. I'm gonna do it this week.
One thing at a time.
Okay, and I got my light, right? And so obviously this doesn't look like my style at all, right? And if I were to render this, this is what you get, right? So how do I make this look like Umami's drawings, basically, right? Create a material. You have to use the full version of Cinema 4D, I think, for this to work. Click, make your material a luminance. Okay, also, you have to kind of do this for individual ones. Let's make the ball pink, for instance, right? So my brightest color is going to be the light pink. So I get the exact hex code. And I go down here and I go to Sketch and Tune, Cell. Change the diffuse from that blue color to, okay, change it to whatever color you want, really. It doesn't have to be, you know, I use these colors. And so let's see here. Almost, I'll do one more. I'll get the dark red here. Okay, so that you have to turn on lights, turn off camera, turn on shadows, and if you want, you can turn on specular. But what you do with that case is I just make it pure white, and I put it like that. And now, so I got my shader, I put it on there, and that's kind of how it looks. You got to turn off anti-aliasing. Okay, and then you can kind of adjust how you want the shadows to fall. You can make it like the shadows less, you know? See, that's basically it, right? Okay, now let's put a background in. Let's put a floor in. The floor, let's make the floor pure yellow. So I'll use the same color. Same style. If you only need it to be one color, you don't have to do that whole cell shading thing. You just go luminance and just change the hex code of it. But you probably will want to make do cell shading, because if you add shadows, you want to see the shadow on the floor too, right? So you go Sketch and Tune, Cell, change this to yellow, and then probably just make the shadow pure black. So there's my thing there. You gotta turn off camera, turn on lights, turn off there. So now, oh, and another thing is you have to make your light kind of
Told you guys.
ray tracing. Okay, so there you go. There you have it. And you can also change your light to be. I usually don't use omni lights. I use infinite lights, and I have them coming down at an angle. There. See? There's my style in 3D.
Easy. No problem.
You see how I retained all the stuff? Now, there's one more step you can do. This doesn't always work, but if you go Sketch and Tune, Effect, turn off the background, turn off the quantizing of the shadows and all that crap. It just changes the colors. Now, you can see, there's an outline on my ball, right? And you can go in here and you can go thickness. You can change it. You can make it as thick as you want, right? And suddenly you have like a 3D render that kind of looks like my original style. And you can do things like add noise to it so that it's not such a perfect looking line. See how it looks kind of like hand drawn now, right? And you can also go in the shader, the pink shader here, and you can do stuff like add displacement to it. And you can add noise to the displacement. You also have to go up here and you have to go displacer.
Can you talk any faster so they understand what you're saying?
Yes. Hold on. Go create deformer displacer. Where is it? I think you have to put it underneath the ball or something like that. Yeah, see, now it's all jittery, right? And your ball, you're probably going to have to increase the amount of segments, like 32 or something like that, right? So that it's, or maybe 64. But, oh, that's too much.
This is like one of those how to draw a chicken tutorials.
But hold on, you can see how if I increase the global scale, my ball becomes a little more globulous. And if you decrease it just a bit, what happens is now...
Oh dear.
I don't know. You just mess around with these kind of things, right? And
good thing this is the streams get saved on a playlist, so you can play this over and over again and figure out what he said real fast.
you can change the different types of displacement. Oh, you know what I'm doing wrong? I know what I'm doing wrong. I have to... what am I doing? I forget what I'm doing.
That looks horrifying.
What? I messed up.
That's like evil mischief right there. It's got squares. Evil
Noise.
mischief.
Global scale. Okay, so what you have to do is just decrease the strength a bit.
Globulous.
There, see? Now, see how like the shadows don't look so perfect? They're kind of like
That was
jittery.
easy.
That makes it look more like it's hand drawn, right? And so that's
I'm a sphere.
that's kind of how I do it. Are you okay with fans creating works from interface? For example, can I create a video game from it? I'm okay with fan art. I'm okay with, you know, people doing musical covers and that sort of thing. But if you're making a video game, you kind of like using the characters, and I'd prefer if people. I don't think it's the best, because, you know, if it's basically like if I allow it, then it kind of sets a precedent, and then some other company, like maybe a company, might decide to do it and be like, well, you're allowing fans to do it, like why can't you allow anyone to do it? And then I basically lose my intellectual property by setting a precedent. So the extent of what I allow people to do is obviously you can create fan art. That's for anything, you should be able to create fan art. But if you're making like a video game, that's kind of a bit different. You're kind of making something more. That's like taking the character, and it's like almost like if you're like taking a character and making, like if I took like, I don't know, SpongeBob and made a video game with it, Nickelodeon would be pissed probably, especially if, you know, I'm selling it and stuff. So you know, it depends. I mean, if you're making like a little web game that's like free to download, I'm probably not going to care, but that's how I think about it.
Just people freaking out about your instructions being like 70 steps long. Just
How to make a
rambling
ball.
real fast. Oh, it's easy.
Like, okay, if anyone wants to figure that out, you have to go back and watch it in slow motion after the live stream.
You have to click on the stream afterwards and put it to 0.25 speed, and then you can watch it.
Just making the style look like this took me about, I don't know, it took me several weeks of trial and error to get it to look kind of how I wanted it to look. And I also realized when I'm making stuff in 3D to keep it simple, because the more complicated it gets, the more time I waste trying to figure out how things are supposed to get it to look exactly perfect. And oh, there's another thing I wanted to show you guys, that interior of the train with all the shadows. So this shot right here, how many people are working on interface? It's me and Carolina, and that's basically it.
Hired.
And people that get hired, like I hired someone to help me with the brain, but it's For the most part, it's just the two of us. So, how do you want it? You want to see how I did this one? Because it looks like hand drawn, but also 3D.
I drew some of this too. Very proud of myself.
I'll show you how I did that, or how we did that. I think, let me just look for the file here. I think it's called...
I know all the secrets. Don't you try and ask me what happens. I won't tell you, and I'll ban you.
I forget what it's called. Creepy train shot or something. Henrik... let me just type in scene 4D. Okay, I think it's... Oh, right. Okay, here it is. Okay, so basically this shot was done with projection mapping. So what that means is if I turn off the textures, how do you do that? Textures. You can see that there was actually a 3D model of the train itself. And the reason why I did that was because the shadows are going to be generated by Cinema 4D, but the drawing would be underneath the shadows. And the shadows, you see, they take the shape of a 3D object, so it makes it kind of look realistic. So if I were to, it's kind of hard for me to like, I should probably save this as like something else. Save project as. Just so I don't like mess it up.
Creepy 3D man. Who does Mischief's voice, Justin?
Yeah.
Who?
What?
Who does Mischief's voice?
Oh, I do his voice. It's my voice.
You can't do two things at once.
Sorry, guys. Where's my train? Okay, so my train's over here. So there's like a 3D model of a train, and the texture.
Dude, that looks ghetto.
Well, it is ghetto. It's
Why is the inside on the outside?
It's complicated. The reason why the texture is like this is because there was projection mapping. If I were to get rid of the texture, oh my god.
Like, you know what this looks like? This Tesseract thing in Interstellar, where it just keeps repeating everywhere.
Okay, if I get rid of the texture, this is what the 3D model looks like. Okay, so what you basically do is you export a frame like this. You draw on top of it in Photoshop, so what you have is a texture that you can project back onto your file. And then you end up having something like this that works if your camera doesn't move too much. If your camera stays like this, it's still good. If it goes over here, it's also good because that's basically to the edge of the texture. But if I go too far, you end up getting some sort of weird, like, Inception, like the end of Interstellar kind of thing happening over here. That's because the projection map.
That's how they made that effect, probably. They're just, like, screwed up doing projection mapping, and they're like, you know what? It's good. They ran out of money at that point. We're keeping this look.
So basically, you have... The shadows are generated as a separate layer. The texture is a layer underneath. And then the background, as you can see, it's green screen here. That's because I did the background as a separate render. which was this one, I think, or I don't remember. Yeah, the background is right here.
What do you think? 2 vitamin gummies instead of 1?
And so you see the background, you compile all this stuff in After Effects. You basically get a completed image.
Polar Express, but you dropped half a pack of Quaaludes.
How did you come up with Mischief's voice? What was your process and trial and error? I'm pretty sure I just kind of spoke deeply into a microphone, and then
Yeah, I think that was your first try, and you were like, good.
I was like, I like how that sounds. I just pitch shifted it down, and I added compression and equalized it. So that's pretty much all I did, and that's basically my voice. Except I talk a lot more like this. Like I have to talk like this. That's my voice when I do Mischief. But then I lower it. I could pitch shift it down. So. Hey, Vincent, thank you for that. I don't know if you're here. So instead of unwrapping the model and doing proper textures, you just painted over a single frame and projected it onto the whole train. Exactly. Because otherwise I would have to do textures for individual elements of the 3D model. And I could do that, but it would take forever. And also, it might end up looking more like a 3D video game than it would a drawing. Because if you draw everything from one perspective, you get the line weight and all that sort of thing. That kind of retains itself. But if I had to like individually texture the seating, for instance, it might look be extra small or something, or repeating, or it wouldn't look right. So. There's a site analytics service that I use that's called Umami. Yeah. I remember like 3 years ago when I chose the name Umami, it was like people were using it, but it wasn't like a big thing. And now all of a sudden, like the umami word is being used a lot. So. Yeah.
Alright.
And I did that other shot the same way, the one where you're looking at Henrik, and it's like a zooming in of the train. Let's see here.
Bro, we can't read Russian. Alright?
I don't know why this gets all messed up sometimes. It's like Photoshop glitches out. This is Adobe. Every time they update, they break something.
Yeah, it's incredibly glitchy for an extremely expensive program.
I'm thinking of moving to Clip Studio Paint after I finish Interface because this is just a nightmare.
For everything?
Well, for the base drawings. After Effects and stuff and Cinema 4D I might keep. This is the same sort of thing, the exact same method. It's projection mapping. And I had to projection map Henrik's face separately from everything else because his face actually moves slightly. And I can show you another thing. So I can show you what it looked like before I touched it up in Photoshop. This is the original render, and look closely at his jacket. Like, look right here. Look how there's like a line going through it and stuff and all this crap, and it kind of glitches out. And I don't think he even blinks in this shot. So I had to manually draw on top of every frame to fix all this crap, because I could have maybe done it in Cinema 4D, but it would have taken me forever to get it to look perfect. And sometimes if I just load it into Photoshop and draw on top of it, I can clean things up a lot quicker. So now look, his shirt kind of looks a little bit better. It's not perfect, right? Nothing in the series is perfect. There's always going to be some graphical error to it. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm retaining the style, is because if I tried a more clean method of animation, I would never get anything done because nothing would look right. I'm almost using the kind of imperfections of the animation as part of the aesthetic, because it helps me get things done, basically. And I think I drew him blinking in on top. Like that, the drawing of the blinking is manual. So. My favorite bit of, oh yeah, I could show you guys that one too. Let's see what else there is.
Yeah, it's been in Photoshop since 2005. I think. Even earlier, maybe.
This started out as a render in Cinema 4D. And you see how the shadows kind of break up like that? That's not something you can do in Cinema 4D very easily, so I actually did that manually. If I were to turn that layer off, I forget which one it is. This one? This is how it looked before and after, so this is before. And you see how the shadows kind of just turn on and off? That's because it's a flat surface. And because I'm using cell shading, it doesn't. There's nothing to break it up, basically. So if I were to draw on top of it, you kind of get more of these kind of like hand-drawn lines. So when I play it back, it obviously looks like it's 3D, but you see how it kind of has these moments where there's like lines being drawn by hand. It kind of helps sell the illusion a bit that it's not just 3D. There's like some hand-drawn element to it. Hey, Pop Mom, I turned the super chats off. I don't know if I can turn them back on now, because I'm like halfway through the stream.
I don't know, I could try. Someone says they watch Interface with their mom.
Oh, really? Let me just see if I can change it real quick. I think I have to go to monitor. I don't know if it's going to work because I'm already streaming. Okay, if you refresh the page or the stream, it might show up. I'm not really sure. What happened to my
chat window?
Chat window. Here it is. Oh, there it is. Okay. Is there a way to add texture to the buildings in Cinema 4D? There is a way, I think. I can try experimenting with that right now, actually. Let me just close all this. So if I were to create a cube, kind of like, let's imagine this is the sides of a building. I have to kind of generate my texture again. I'll just do a black and white, so luminance, cell, oops. Okay, so I got my cube. Put that there, put a light on it, and let me just render it. Oh, I probably have to move the light outside of the cube. Hold on a second, guys. Too much shadow here. Okay, so there's my cube. Let me just turn anti-aliasing off and give it a floor. Make the floor yellow, I guess. Pop Mom. Thanks and thanks. Hey, Pop Mom, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Pop Mon. He just called you a mom.
Sorry, it's Pop Mon?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Pop Mon.
You're a mom now.
You're Pop
Whether
Mon.
you like it or not, you're a mom.
Okay, so, let's see. Someone was asking me, can I create textures on this so that I don't have to do that manual thing I was drawing on top of and all that sort of thing, right? So I think if you were to click on your material editor,
Got some Polish pesos.
Aesthetic Capybara, finally Polish pesos and pounds. Thank you, Aesthetic Capybara.
I also called you handsome earlier
Oh, thank you.
with the no homo tag.
Okay, so I think if you clicked on bump, first of all, you have to go into your luminance and check use bump. Now, if you go to bump and you put like something like a noise on there, let me just see. You see how it kind of gives it a texture? That is probably going to be helpful. I mean, I probably could have done that to my buildings, but I didn't, I'm still learning stuff. What I would do is make this texture probably not noise, but like, I think there's like different options here, like box. Like you can use like different textures. It actually doesn't even have to be noise. Like if you clicked on bump and you go, if you go like surfaces and you see here, it says marble or metal. Let's see what happens. See how it kind of gives it like a marbly kind of texture? That would help. So when you have your shadows, it kind of looks more natural. But honestly, this doesn't really match my style. Yeah, I'd have to blur scale or something. Or let me see what happens if I... Oh, blur offset maybe? Basically, you can play around with this and you can get it to look however you want. But that's how you would do it. You could also use displacement, but I think displacement warps your object too much. So bump might be the best one. You can also, let's see, if I tried tiles. Okay, see how that looks more like a tiled cube? Now, if you were to increase stuff like blur offset, you can make it look slightly different. Or blur scale. I'm assuming that Carl Jung's idea of the goal of making the unconscious conscious is one of the highlights of this series. Yes, Chris, I read his book,
Dream symbolism.
Man and His Symbols is what the book's called.
I just title things how I prefer to remember them.
I feel like that I started the series before I read that book, but when I was reading the book like 6 months ago, it kind of helped me like clarify exactly what I was doing. So it was helpful for especially making episode 23.
Someone is willing to pay $300 for a full-length body pillow milk milk chip.
Bill Nye the Bounty Guy. Hey man, just stopping by to see what's up. It's been such a journey. Hey, thanks man. I really do appreciate that. I remember you've been around for a long time. As an architecture student, this was the shit. Thank you. Cool, man.
Learning.
That's awesome, dude. Being an architecture student. I feel like if I had a different life, I might have gone into architecture.
Really? I thought you were going to be a crime detective.
Or a crime detective.
How many different lives do you have? No one's making a mischief dildo. Stop. Just go find a pink one somewhere. Basically the same thing.
What about adding a body pillow merch of mischief? That would be awesome.
What about it?
I don't know. I mean, I might do like, it'd be cool to have like a really long noodle mischief, like in his full form, and have him be like, I don't know,
They want
like
a
8
mischief
feet.
waifu. That's the issue.
What?
They want a mischief waifu.
But you guys got to understand, like, if I were to do that, it would cost so much money. It'd be like a $150 thing, like, and I don't know if basically I would have to sell a lot of them.
Okay, when you manufacture something, you have to put a minimum order in, okay? So if the minimum order is like 1,000 units, we're not gonna buy 1,000 giant body pillows that cost like $300 each. Like, that's so much money.
I would basically have to front like probably like $100,000.
Yeah, if you guys want to go like super chat $100,000, we'll get on that.
The Mischief birds were kind of expensive to make, but they paid off because I was able to sell them all. By the way, I think they're sold out now.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, guys, if you missed it. They're sold out, I'm pretty sure.
You guys are gonna have to do a Kickstarter just for your body pillow weirdness.
Yeah. Is my mic too close? Am I like clipping and stuff?
No, that's me yelling.
Oh.
You're just being your soothing whispering voice, and I'm just being a lunatic as usual. Mr. Greetings body pillow. Burgers are mischief stress ball.
I didn't get a chance to get a bird. I'm sorry, Dallin. I mean, I'm gonna like talk to my person at Teespring and see if she has any left over, because sometimes they keep like some of them on reserve in case there's like problems with you have to return them or whatever. So there might be a few left, but I don't have any numbers in front of me, and
You just have to do another order for Christmas or something.
maybe. I think I'd have to order like 1,000 of them though in order for it to make sense. I don't know if I can sell another 1,000 of them. Anyway.
Here we go. That's just getting silly.
Can I get an Umami can of Campbell's? You can still add them to the cart on Teespring. Oh, okay. Well, then I think they might have. I think they might have been like doing inventory or something yesterday. Like you can try adding it to a cart. I'm not sure if it was going to work or not. But I know the page for it wasn't working yesterday. Anyways, what else is there? I've been getting some complaints about the walk cycle on this shot, and I honestly I kind of have to agree. His arms are not swinging enough, and I was gonna redo it actually, but then I was like, this is like I was working way too hard, and I was like, I can't. So I thought it was fine, but I might actually redo it for the.
You got complaints about the walk cycle for people that don't animate?
Well, I got more than one. I got like at least 4 or 5.
Well, they'll just.
And I agree with them. I agree with them. I think it's kind of rough, but it's hard drawing at such a small resolution. And also, but I think if I just make his arms swing a bit more and his legs, it might look better. So for the part 2 compilation, I'm going to try to fix that maybe.
I don't think you should, because it just ties it in with the beginning of the series, which is very sloppy.
Yes, my justification is that I'm just synchronizing the artistic style from episode 1, where everyone looks like a potato.
Like episode 1 is like a fetus learning how to animate.
Episode 1, Henrik doesn't even have a bowler's cap. He's got a pork pie hat.
He doesn't have the right hat on.
His hat just changes.
And you guys are like episode 24 with like crazy 3D shit. Someone's like, the walk cycle's off. It's like, get out of here.
My expertise is not animation. I will admit that. It's not.
Or continuity.
No wonder episode 23 felt a lot like late Newgrounds. No, what is NGE? What is that? You took a lot from the same philosophical playbook.
Stands for not getting eggs.
Procopius Jones, thank you for that. What is NGE? Oh, Neon Genesis Evangelon. You know what? I've never actually seen that at all.
Yeah, well, you're not very open-minded about anime.
I'm pretty sure I saw it on Netflix the other day.
Yeah,
you were the one that didn't want to watch it.
What?
Yes.
Wow. Trying to shuffle the responsibility. All I see is you play the preview, and then you, like, hover over the play button like you're gonna commit heresy or something. Okay? What, are you gonna get all weird?
I'll probably watch it. I haven't seen it.
See, I'm right, because there's silence.
I know the end of it gets pretty weird. Just like animals.
And now he's ignoring me.
You'd love the ending. It matches your narrative style. Okay, I'll have to check it out then.
How the turntables. Don't watch the Netflix version? Yeah, it's probably like dubbed with shitty English, right?
What's wrong with the Netflix version?
You pretty much never watch anime with English dubs because they're terrible.
Oh, I should read the subtitles, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
The Netflix dub/sub is terrible from what I've heard, and they wrote stuff out. Oh.
Yeah, they do that too.
What?
There's like tons of dirty jokes in Dragon Ball Z that got deleted because it had to go on Canadian television.
That's crazy. I can't believe they're still doing that.
That was in the 90s.
That's like when they were editing out Donald Trump from the Home Alone movie. Like people are that triggered by Donald Trump that the 5-second scene that he's in where he's like greeting him at the door of his building, they like removed it.
Dude. What is wrong with people?
Yeah. I heard Netflix wrote out gay stuff.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. So it seems like you know, with the way Netflix is, it would be the other way around.
Yeah, that's surprising, right? They have that, like, what is that show called? Smash Mouth or some other thing that's supposed to be like a sex ed show, and it's just talking about all sorts of graphic stuff, and then it's like, go out and write out.
I don't like the way this conversation is going.
Oh, okay. Dustin doesn't like talking about these things. It makes him uncomfy.
It's a long story, but there was another dub, but it was the newer dub that was closer to the original Japanese script, while the first dub took a lot more liberties. Oh, I see. Why end interface on episode 24? Is there a possibility of Canon Mischief spin-off? Peculiar Banana.
The way you said that, I'm sorry.
Well, the reason why I'm ending interface on episode 24 is because I don't want it to be a story that goes on forever. You don't want to be watching interface on episode 30.
You don't want to be
hearing about Henrik and his daughter. You're going to go insane.
You don't want to be The Simpsons on episode 1000 with Flanderisms about Flanders.
Yes.
You know?
So I'm cutting it off at 24. It's done. And after 24, I have, like, you know, there's going to be room for a spin-off series. Definitely. I won't be starting it immediately, though. I need to take some time to just do some bonus videos and stuff, because as much as people love interface and as much as I like making interface, it's kind of killing my channel, because each time I put out an interface episode, it doesn't, it's there's an audience of people there watching interface, and there's an audience that are watching the other stuff, and the way the algorithm works, they don't mesh. And so I'm not saying that I'm doing it for the views and stuff, but I need to balance something with my channel eventually. And I think ending it on 24, it'll make the series stronger, that it has a complete arc that finishes and wraps up. And after, I'm going to be using the characters. I'll probably be using Mischief and his own spin-off videos, that sort of thing. Also, you know, I've been kind of like working on interface for 3.5 years, and I'm going a little bit crazy. Like, I need to take a break because like episode 23, I worked on it every day for the past 3 months. It was like nonstop. And right now, it's like it's been sort of like a 2-day breather. But even then, I don't really have that much time off, because I'm still gonna want to, like, you know, I have to make some new merch and stuff, and then I still have another episode to go, and I have the vinyls coming in, a whole bunch of stuff going on, so it's just been a lot to manage, and
this is all he talks about. It's getting obnoxious.
I'm becoming a little bit crazy. Interface has made me a little bit crazy, so once episode 24 is done, I'll be a little bit relieved. I can focus on individual funny animations that aren't so serious, and does that mean I'll never make something like interface again? Absolutely not. It just means I need to take a break, because it's not sustainable for me. That's all I'm saying. Are you doing more shit for TV and Adult Swim and stuff like that? I can't really say. There's some plans I have that maybe something like that might happen, but there's nothing solved at all. So I'll let you guys know if I ever have real concrete information about that sort of thing. Did someone just super chat and I ignore them? Oh, Aesthetic Capybara, thank you for that. I appreciate the zloties, right? Zloties?
Sure.
Is that how you say it? Zloty?
That's what they...
I remember one time I went to this Polish like convenience store to buy some juice, and the woman said all these things to me in Polish.
That's because you greeted her.
I said "Dzień dobry," and she was like, "Oh, ba-da-ba-da-ba-da," and I didn't know what the hell to say, so all I could say was "Ja nie mówię polski, ja mówię angielski," and she looked at me like,
what?
She just looked at me like this. And it was funnier because I wasn't like in a city. I was like in a rural town.
Yeah.
They weren't expecting like
Everyone just thought he was very tan because they're not used to seeing people with not white skin. That's pretty good.
I remember we stopped at this one place and we got pierogies, and they were the size of baseballs, and they gave me 6 of them.
Yeah,
that's baseball-sized pierogies, and I was asleep. The Grubhub commercial reaction was genius, by the way. Thank you.
That's what
Jordan.
Polish people sound like, right? What did you just do?
Oh, it's yeah. I don't know, man. Like everyone kind of sounds like they're very, like they just don't give a fuck. It's like,
no, it's because everyone had
this problem with this.
Yeah, everyone sounds like exasperated and tired and like they ate too much food for lunch. That's coming from me.
There'd be like some major problem in the city. There's like people like.
Yeah, you turn on the news and there's some guys being like.
There's like a mass murder in the city, and the policeman's just like, ugh, there was an issue with guns. It's over there. It's like, I don't know. Charles, thank you, Charles. You should make a community poll, see what percentage of your subscribers watch the interface. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I feel like the problem with YouTube is like there's like an audience of people that just watches the bonus videos. And then there's an audience of people that just watch the interface videos and the bonus videos. But because of that, the YouTube thinks, oh, not everyone's watching interface because they're here, you know, it doesn't have the same comedic timing as like, you know, Thomas the Nuclear Bomb. So that means I'm going to show it to you to less of your own subscribers. It's not necessarily a reach problem with getting new subscribers. It's just YouTube won't even show it to my own subscribers is what the problem is. That's really what I have an issue with. How can you not be exasperated while living in Poland, to be honest? Well, I mean, I don't know. Poland is, I thought it was a beautiful country. Very nice in the summertime. But I mean, I'm sure there's issues with it, just like there was issues here in Canada that you're probably more...
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Canada seems nice from the outside, doesn't it?
Exactly.
We just live in igloos and have maple syrup all the time and just have a great time. Everyone's friendly and nice. And
housing costs is like $2 million.
Everything's free, apparently, according to Americans.
Yeah. Inflation went up like 3,000% past year. Do you plan for other projects other than interface at the time? I do have a few projects planned, but they're not. I can't really give you guys any details. Sorry. Chris Kramer, love to hear you talk about music theory behind your existential music. A lot of my music, I kind of just improvise it, and I finesse it after the fact, and I'll spend a few hours just improvising on the keyboard until I get a melody that I like, and then I'll refine that melody and clean it up and mix it with different melodies. I don't really think too much about it though. It's more of like an intuitive sort of thing.
He has big theories about everything.
It's gray and oppressive, to be honest, is what he's saying about Poland. Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't lived there.
Carolina lived there, but it was like...
I was 7.
She was 7.
You can't have an opinion on a country when you're 7.
Yeah. Lucas.
I had a pretty good
Martina.
sandbox, so I mean, I was pretty happy. Lego.
Carolina had a sandbox in the center of one of those like Soviet blocks.
Yeah, I lived in one of those communist buildings that are indestructible.
They have like better security than the apartments in Montreal, though.
Those shitty old buildings are better than any building here.
They got like 4 deadbolts on every door.
Yeah.
And here, it's like a fucking imposition to ask for a deadbolt. Because your landlord would be like...
Oh. What do you mean a bathroom door isn't enough for your front door?
Yeah. Will you sell DVDs of interface once it's edited together? Can I get your opinion on my short film project? Lucas Martina. Yes, I'm going to be selling DVDs or Blu-rays. I'm not really sure which one. Probably Blu-rays. Can I get your opinion on my short film project? Yeah. You can email me, man, if you want to. I probably won't watch it on the stream, but if you want to email me, info@hexsystem.com. And let me know if you want, like, real criticism. Because
Wow.
I can be tough. If that's what you want, I can give you my real opinions. You know,
if you want your heart broken, you can ask him for criticism.
I'm pretty nice about my criticism. No, I don't just bash things, but I always try to.
Unless you're talking to me, you just get the sword
I
out.
bash things if it's like been financed by a major production company and it's on Netflix, because I'm baffled how things are made sometimes. Like that movie Unhinged. I don't know if you guys saw that.
No, that's a piece of garbage.
That baffles me.
But I would say Gravity is worse.
Yes, the Polish sandbox is part of the country.
You know what I'm talking about? Every one of those communist buildings has a little sandbox for the kids to play in. That was my whole world.
Man, I have a memory of going to Poland and ordering apples, or not ordering apples, buying apples from the grocery store, and getting so like confused.
Oh my god, I remember this. This was
at the cash register. The guy was like, he said something to me in Polish. I don't know what he was saying, obviously, because I don't speak Polish.
You guys don't know what customer service is, that's for sure. This guy gave him the biggest stink eye on the planet. He was like, this guy's a moron. He doesn't know how to use it.
In Canada, if you buy an apple, you pick it up, you go to the cash register, and you're done. They weigh it.
You don't have to do anything more.
But in Poland, you have to go to this machine that gives you a sticker that you have to select the correct type of apple for, and you put it on the bag, and I didn't know about that.
So this guy was giving him the biggest judgmental stink eye.
I went to buy some apples, and the guy was like, you have to go to the machine.
Oh, what is wrong with this? Yeah, you couldn't understand what he's saying, but he was like, what is wrong with him? Like, what's up with people these days? It's like muttering to himself. Took like an extra 5 minutes, and there's like a line forming behind you.
Most people in Poland were super nice, though.
Except that one guy.
Well, I mean... Yeah.
He's watching this stream right now.
Will you make any art prints of the flower scene from the latest episode? Love the music, by the way. Drad. I think I might do a poster of that, yeah, for sure, because that's probably a nice shot to do.
A pile of sand for every child.
I would check in a week. I'm going to post some new merch soon. Unhinged rant incoming.
I'll teach you what a bad day is.
Oh yeah, that's the shit. It goes for all vegetables. Fucking idiot didn't know about the apple machine. That's what it was like. I'm just like, dude, what do you mean apple machine? What is this?
Oh man. And the sad thing is, we go to the grocery store, and if some grandma comes to the cash with 1 banana, it's taking like 3 years to process. We're doing the same thing in the background. We're like, old lady's taking forever.
Big Smell Bad. Yeah, I really like that movie, Manhunter. Yeah, that's probably, that is one of the reasons why we use the soundtrack for one of the albums.
The story of Johnny Apple.
What?
The story of Johnny Apple Machine.
All I know is there's a factory in Poland that makes Apple sticker machines, and they don't export them anywhere else in the world. Can I show you guys something? I've been meaning to show you guys this, especially the Americans, for a long time.
Making me cry.
Hold on.
It was so late at night too. You're just trying to get some apples. It's a big ordeal.
Hold on.
Here we go. This is gonna be good. Stick around for this.
Can I show you guys something?
Can you?
All right. So here's a map of Chicago, right? This is Chicago.
Exclusive.
Now, if I type in Chuck E. Cheese, see locations. Do you really need that many Chuck E. Cheeses within the downtown core of Chicago?
Yeah, who's going, Dolly?
How many Chuck E. Cheeses are there? There's so many of them.
Well, I'm impressed that some of them have a 4.3 with 600 reviews.
Sometimes when I'm bored, I just like to go to Chicago and read the reviews of the Chuck E. Cheeses. Is that the kind of stuff you guys like to do? Because that's what I'm doing right now. I especially like reading the negative reviews.
Yeah, let's see what people are mad about.
Maria, bad customer service, not nice and not greeting or saying thank you to me when I buying toys for kids. Not good attitude towards customers. Too bad Chuck E. Cheese hire her.
Oh my
and
god.
she not nice toward customers who come in here, especially the kids that too.
Alright, well, this one guy hates someone named Mariah.
I feel caged like a mouse that wears funny clothes with pizza shoved up my nose, especially with all the little people running around.
That's clearly a serious review.
I feel like some of these could be like haikus on their own, like
That
negative
was
Chuck E. Cheese
cozy.
reviews. Anyway, that's all I wanted to ask you guys.
Whoa.
Another thing is interesting is that if I go up here and I type in Canada Post, that's
Shh, don't look over there.
don't look over there. That's my house.
You don't need to know where we live.
I meant to search it up here in the middle of nowhere.
This area.
There's a Canada Post at the top of Canada.
That's for this. That's for Santa Claus.
It's like
That's where Santa Claus works.
the furthest up north. Imagine like getting a job at Canada Post and they're like,
Put
great.
it on
we're gonna-
satellite view. I want to see what this place looks like. Whoa.
Oh, it's an Air Force base, isn't it?
Oh well, that makes sense. doesn't
Station
it?
alert.
Those military people don't need any mail. Wow.
Oh my God! Look at the post. Look at the signage.
Imagine working in this place.
Quebec, 250,000 kilometers. Oh wait, no, 2,500. Yes. Well, that's Canada for you.
Yeah, that's where we live.
Anyway.
You dox yourself. Good job.
Alert.
That's where you watch out for the Russians.
Yeah, you have to. I know there's probably some Russians in here. That's what we do. Is we have
As
to.
if we would actually be able to defend our country with
Yeah.
our like 2 airplanes that we own or something.
Russia basically they come up here with their submarines and they just dab on us.
Yeah.
They come up here, they plant the Russian flag like right here, and they're like, "This is Russia,"
Yeah.
and they do the dab, and then they go back to Russia. And meanwhile, Canada's like,
Excuse me.
"Excuse me, we just spent $250,000 on a
An old
puppet
airplane.
show
Oh yeah.
that to explain COVID to people in the north." why do we have security problems?
We'll just send our half-built rusted submarine from Halifax to you.
Yeah, we're like, Canada's like, we got submarines too. We got 4 submarines. And it's basically some guy named Ricky taking his submarine out like in the harbor of Halifax, and it's like rusted and sinking.
Yeah, half of it's under construction for some reason.
And he's
for like 10 years.
It sounds like a lawnmower engine in the middle of the harbor.
Very subtle.
He's like, we got a submarine. I think you could probably see them somewhere if I zoomed in enough.
Yeah, it's usually over there somewhere, isn't it? Up there. By
Up
the
here?
Bridge. Yeah, that's where I remember. Or that thing. Rusty pile of shit.
This is like our submarines.
There's it.
Some rusty pile of crap in the harbor. I don't know where they are. They usually have
No,
them.
it is in the harbor somewhere by the bridge.
Yeah.
And it's been like under construction the entire time we lived there.
Well, I don't know where they are anymore. but
Anyway, that's our military.
They
so
probably blew them up.
It's not very hard to ship this country away. Yeah, we make the U.S. seem competent. That's an understatement.
What do you think of the current state of YouTube? I don't know, man. I just don't understand the whole mukbang thing. I think that's kind of like the end of all times. And
especially when the mukbang guy is an OnlyFans, then it's just like peak terrible.
yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know if it's the algorithm or if that's just what people want to watch, you know? I don't know what to think of it anymore. But if people don't like YouTube anymore, I suggest you go on to Odyssey, which is where I've been synchronizing my videos. You can also watch them on Odyssey. And that, honestly, it might even be like if you subscribe to me on Odyssey, you might actually see my videos. I know some people don't see them, even though they're subscribed to me here.
Huh?
Dox yourself. I'm sending apples and sand to your mailbox. Rated with a sticker.
You know you can mail a potato with a stamp.
Watching from the plateau. Cheers to you. Hey,
What?
Andre. Andre? Or Andre?
Andre?
Andre.
That's weird.
How do mukbangers eat so much fucking food?
How do they do anything? At one point, like 20 minutes into shoveling spaghetti into your face, you're not like, what is wrong with my life? And then you do it again the next day? Like,
yeah.
I don't understand.
Seeing Montreal in a surrealist YouTube video tripped me out for the first time. Yeah, man. I don't know. Like, when I was drawing it, I was like, why don't I should just make it take place here. Like, this is where I live.
Yeah, you know what's weird? We were trying to watch a random movie at night, just you know, just decompress. We put on Jackal, and it's like half the movie is in like Leon Gru's station. It's like big boss fight. It's just weird.
Andre, did you see the movie Jackal? If you have Netflix, it's on Netflix right now. And there's like the scene where they go to Montreal with like a machine gun, and Jack Black gets his arms exploded by it in Montreal. It's like the weirdest thing ever. Like, this whole scene just... It's really weird. Anyway, that's a weird movie. And the strangest thing is that it takes, like, there's a scene that takes place at Leon Gru, which is, like, 5 minutes away.
There's, like, evil Montrealers in the movie.
Yeah, yeah, there's, like, evil Quebec people in the movie.
It's just really funny. What does that say? That's the definition of what they are.
A few years ago, I applied for the Christmas card competition, and you didn't catch that I made the Umami gang reenact Jesus Christ's birth with the 3 wise men and Mischief as Jesus.
Oh, wow. Damn.
I'm sorry, Big Bad Smell. I did not catch that.
Big Bad Smell has a grudge against Umami. He did not catch his Christmas scene.
That's just normal Quebec people, let's be real.
That's why I'm here. I'm also evil.
I feel like Hollywood goes in stages with like their evil villains. Like at first it used to be British people, and then at a certain time there was Quebec people, like French people, and then it was like I don't know, Russians,
Vietnamese people,
and then it was Vietnamese, and now it's like, what is it now? It's like
It was like Muslims for 10 years.
it's like Middle Eastern. Now it's going to be Chinese people, I bet. Like, that's
Yeah,
gonna
I
be the
bet
next
you
thing.
money it's gonna be evil Chinese villains from now on. Just everything but people in your own country, apparently.
Wow.
No responsibility for your actions whatsoever. What? What? Evil Canadians, evil everything, just everyone around them is just evil.
I want there to be more evil Canadians. Like,
I
what?
know, it's so funny.
Like, how? There can't be an evil Canadian. There's no country that really.
Yeah, there is. We like beat people with road signs and stuff because we don't have guns. Like, we're just candidates for evil.
Beat people with 2x4s and road signs.
Yeah, like, come on. That's like advanced level rage.
Actually, I find that every time an evil Canadian is in a movie, they are French.
Of course.
They're not like an English Canadian. It's a Quebec. Like, even when you watch Sopranos, they're like, "Oh, we gotta go up north to meet with the Canadians,"
Yeah, it's
and
like,
it's the
where
French
is it?
Canadian.
Oh, it's in south of Quebec, obviously. That's where all the evil people are located. All those, like, old guys with cottages are just up to no good down there.
Yeah.
They're just like boating in the river. They got sailboats. They're up to no good. There was a maple syrup heist here.
Yeah, you know, the crimes that we have. Someone actually stole like barrels and barrels of like $1 million worth of maple syrup from a warehouse.
Yeah. And then some other guy tries to escape jail with a helicopter.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
They tried to escape. Well, he did escape. He escaped with a helicopter. It landed on the prison, but he was like trying to get onto the helicopter for like 10 minutes.
And then the police just watched him.
The police just watched him basically. he's like, I can't reach. And then like it was like 10 minutes goes
It's like
by.
out of shape Canadian. It's too much Tim Hortons happened.
It kind of looked like something from Trailer Park Boys, honestly.
Trailer Park Boys is unfortunately realistic.
It's very realistic.
That's real Canada. That's not playing pretend. It's just real.
Katie Schmo, what can they do with that much maple syrup? I don't know, but I think when they got caught, they dumped it.
Really?
I think that they like dumped the maple syrup, which is kind of a shame because it's
It
like
was like $1 million worth of maple syrup. You know that maple syrup is tree blood? You have to bleed some trees and cook it down. It's just so some guy could steal it and then they dump it.
Anyways, so what we're doing now, I'm just kind of talking with you
Just
guys.
ranting about
Just
Canada at
ranting
this
about
point.
random crap.
But more
wow.
pancakes. I like movies that take place in a northern U.S. and the way like the Americans talk about it. It's like this forsaken land with low temperatures and like igloos and just blizzards that just absorb you and you die. And it's like that's like South.
That's like every time you watch a movie and it takes place in Mexico, it's just yellow.
Yeah. Everything's just yellow.
But in Canada, everything's just blue. It's like the
Yeah.
opposite. It's like cold and blue.
If a movie is set in Mexico, the color scheme for it has to be green and yellow for some reason.
I think Breaking Bad is the worst for doing that. Like, they take it to an extreme.
Yeah, they're like sepia tone crazy.
They just deleted the blue channel from the video, basically.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys some stuff today. Oh, you guys want to see something kind of cool? This is what a shot I'm really proud of. This egg. I don't know why it's not working.
Nothing good happens east of the Rockies. Wow. All right, Vancouver with your crazy real estate and like China 2.0. It's fine.
The thing that's cool about the shot that I like is that I was able to make it look like it's going out of focus, but without blurring it. Because obviously, if you were to blur this like for real, you would it would look like this, right? And that's not right. That it doesn't match the style.
That's great.
If anyone's wondering how I did that, I can show you in After Effects. Basically, every color has to be on its own layer that has threshold applied to it. That's essentially how I was able to do that.
Egg.
So if I were to open the project, I think it's called Egg Shot. Really. Should probably label things better. Say octopus, desert egg reveal, desert walk. Let me just type in egg. Maybe it's this one. That's not the right shot. Oh. Camera focus is what it's called. Okay. So the focus box is, I can turn that off. It's just a little thing. It's just a little graphic of the, and I can turn this off too, just a matte. So basically, what we have here is the sky. I can turn that off, and the ground. Okay, so basically, you have the egg, which I didn't. Oh, I did blur it actually. So that was okay. That's in its own.
Fake news.
So I got the egg gray and egg white as separate layers, so I can turn that on and off. And it kind of goes like that, expands and contracts based on where the focus is. And to do that, another thing I did was, well, see, here's my shadow of the egg, right? And then, so for instance, the egg gray layer has Gaussian blur applied to it. So you would have that. It starts out like this, put a Gaussian blur on it. Then you put the threshold on it. Then you put linear color key to get rid of the black. And then change the color from white to light gray. And so you basically have to do that to every single color. And so you get the egg, basically. The egg has a black outline, which I made using layer styles. And then you get the shadow, which also has to do the same thing. So you basically do the same thing with the shadow. And then the background was the trickier part because, well, basically the background looked like this.
Someone just called me your mom.
And I put a black as a different layer, so it would fill in the gaps with black. But if I were to look at the background layer itself, the sky, you got the hills and the ground. So the ground is the solid color. Same technique, Gaussian blur, threshold, linear color key, and change to color. Same thing with the hills. Then the sky, basically like that. And then so once you compile it all together, you have a shot that kind of looks like it's going in and out of focus. Oh, see how there's a little mistake there? See how there's like a glow? I think I did something wrong here. Might have. Let's see, what layer is that on? Oh, that layer should not be, it was supposed to be disabled. So the final result is something that looks like it's blurring, but it's still retaining the black, like the sharpness of the drawing, you know? I was just curious why you never put the earth shine on that scene with the crescent moon. I remember you working on that for the last stream. The earth shine. Oh, you mean like the kind of. I did draw it in, and I removed it because it was too dark. Like the problem with my color palette is that they're all the colors are kind of very much different from one another almost, and so I think I tried to fill in the color that it would work, and it just was looking like it was too much, so I just removed it. You know, sometimes I feel like it would be cool to actually have some of the glow, but I don't want to change my style right now. Like, I don't know, when you add lights to stuff, I can show you something else entirely. Let me close all this. Let me show you something old from episode 20, from episode 11. Let's see, car, crash. Okay, maybe I can try this, car crash. Okay, so you guys have seen this shot before. The car falling. Sometimes it would be cool to like have like something where I let me just key out all the colors I don't want. Linear color key. Okay, now if we look in here, you see how the headlights have kind of a glow? Maybe if I duplicate the layer, you can see it even more. Like, it would be cool maybe to have something like that, you know? Sometimes. It makes the light look like it pops out a bit more. But I made a conscious decision to not do that in the interface. And I have to rely on different tricks rather than having glow like that. But I do feel like maybe, you know, in the future, I kind of want to experiment with doing stuff like that, using glow, you know, and maybe try something different from the pixelated style. But I mean, I don't really know because that's going to really change things. Every single animation I've made has been pixelated, and I don't know if I would want to change it, you know. I just feel like this is like I can do a lot with lighting if I was able to have the glow kind of effect. But I know that if I were to do that now, I would be breaking my own rules. So that's why I don't do it. The reason why I like the glow is because if you ever seen that movie Ghost in the Shell, actually I can show you some scenes right now on YouTube. Let me show you YouTube. There's a what is it? Inspiration. There's this scene from Ghost in the Shell, and let me just zoom ahead here. I think it's not. It's at this point. Okay, so look at the lights underneath. See the glow? You see how cool it looks? Like, I feel like, and like the headlights of the cars and stuff, you know? And then stuff like this. I just feel like there's like opportunity here to do something really cool, and maybe I might change my style someday because I want to take an opportunity. I want to take advantage of stuff like this, you know, playing with light in different ways. But for interface, I'm going to keep everything consistent right until the end. And if I were to do something like this, where there's like kind of a glow to the lights, it would be its own kind of cohesive story to it, you know, its own thing. I just feel like there's a lot of ways that you can play with lights that I haven't been able to do because of the particular style that I chose. Keep the pixelated style, make another series using glow. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do, for sure. Hey, Umami, I recently saw The Lighthouse, and I thought it'd be really cool to see you animate like a scene from it. Maybe you can use the glow from that. Glow effect is sweet. I haven't actually seen that movie. Interesting thing is that they made that in Nova Scotia too, which is where Interface takes place, so... or part of it takes place, the second part. You can see that glow in real life. It's called astigmatism. Yeah.
Astigmatism.
It's like looking at the world through blurry sunglasses or blurry glasses. Demosphere. What's in store for the future of Hex System? Well, I got those pre-orders coming. So right now, if people pre-ordered these vinyls, they are being electroplated in the Czech Republic. The stampers are being electroplated. They're going to send the stampers to Canada, and they're going to send me some test pressings. I'm going to prove it, and then they're going to make the vinyls. Okay? That's going to be in the next month or two by the time they're finished completely. And then Interface, like Part 2, the soundtrack, Part 2, I will be making that as well as a vinyl and CD. So just like Part 1, I'll have Part 2. And I'll probably do it the same way where I have this style. And I'll also have maybe 300 of them that are hot pink, but the pink ones will be like limited. And that's about it. That's all I have the feature of Interface. All the music I've been making really has been going into Interface and the Corona Wave stuff, so I don't really have anything saved up. Are you influenced by Goya's surreal art? And if not, what are some of your biggest inspirations? Well, Jay, if Goya, not necessarily, but if you check the description, I put a bunch of my inspirations down there. I just get asked that question so much, I can't answer it anymore, but it's in the description. Can we purchase on your site? if you go to umämimerch.com, you can find all of the links. Hold on. On the first page to the vinyl pre-orders and that sort of thing. So, and you can actually order things directly off the site now, like shirts and stuff, and the shipping might be cheaper than using Teespring. Personally, I would experiment with Witchfinder General. Personally, I would experiment with other art styles and research new techniques for a new series. Witchfinder General, I think that's what I want to do, because as much as I love this pixelated style, I think I've done it for so long. I want to try something new, and I kind of want to do just clean aliased lines. But keep it looking kind of like painterly, like keep it looking not rough, I guess, but sketchy, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But I'm going to experiment with that because it's honestly, it's like it actually increases the computational resources you need, not just for doing 3D stuff, but for all aspects of 2D animation, because all those little colors that are in between the lines of anti-aliasing add up, and they make the file sizes a lot larger. And you have these, and then suddenly, you know, if you're not doing it in 4K, you're doing it, you know, these are 640 by 480, right? But if you want to have clean lines and stuff, you can't really use that resolution. So it complicates things a lot. And for those asking for the body pillow, oh
my God!
I don't think I'm going to be doing a body pillow, unfortunately.
It's not happening, guys. Just get a sack of potatoes and put Mish's face on it. It's the same thing.
There is a person that on YouTube that uploads every so often, and that has nearly the opposite style, Jam to Go. Okay, I'll check that out. All right, everyone. I think that's it for me. I'm getting kind of tired, but I just wanted to stop in and say hello to you guys, and I really do appreciate all the comments and support. And I appreciate you guys sharing the episodes out in the world, the interface on Reddit and that sort of thing, and Twitter, and I really do appreciate that. So that's it for today. I think I just wanted to go over some shots, and I'm going to take a few days, kind of just not really do anything, and then I'm going to try to make some new merch for you guys, and yeah, that's it. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for hanging out. I'll talk to you again next time I see you.
You're watching Umami.